Now for the Huskies, Aim. You got them, big guy.
All right. Well, we'll say them when they come out here, but I'll read them to you right now you'll see them when they come out of the tunnel here. Number 4 is the first one. He's a senior, 6'2", 197 pounds. Foster Brands, you're going to see him playing the end and also playing the edge on defense. Second starter is freshman Gavin Tolheim, number 5. He's 5'11", 161 pounds. Third starter for the Huskies is number 7, Brian Ben Como, the speedster. You're going to see him all over the field being used in a lot of different ways. He's 5'10", 141 pounds, and like we said, he is fast, and so you're going to see him utilized. The next starter out there is number 11, Kenton Tallheim. He's a junior, and he is the field general for this team. 6 foot, 148 pounds, back at quarterback, and you'll also see him sometimes coming in on some defensive packages as well. And then your last starter is Kai Cox, Kai Cox is also a starter, senior, 6 foot, 160 pounds. He's the man in the middle there, making it all happen at the center position. And then Brody Preston is your last starter, number 25, a junior, 5'10", 161, and he loves contact. He's going to be a hard-nosed player out there today. And that is your starting 6 for the Northern Valley Huskies in this one.
We got 5 minutes to go here. Why don't we kick it to a sponsor here, and we'll be back with Pew's points to the game.
Pew's pregame points.
There you go, Pew's pregame points, right after this message. Once again, Clint Cox on your broadcast here for Open Spaces Sports. Aim Baird's going to do the color, but right now we're going to go to our statistician, Coach Mitch Pew. You know, he gets some love here on the mic here. Pew's pregame points. Here we go. What do we got?
Well, here we go. All right, so what we're going to look for tonight out of the Huskies is how is our defense going to respond? Okay, we're going to have a pretty decent offense on the other side. It might look a little different than what we saw against Cheyenne, but ultimately you can't give up 370 yards through the air and expect to win a whole lot of games. On the offensive side of the ball, keep doing what you're doing. We're putting up points in bunches. Special teams, let's see if we can get that kicking game fixed. That's been a problem the entire season. Last week we went 2 for 7 on our field goals. We want to see if we can clean that up and see how we come out here.
That is awesome. Thank you, Coach Mitch Pugh, for your pregame points there. And I'll maybe dive into a little bit of the Tri-Plains Brewster side of this and how they can kind of make this game. They got to slow it completely down. They cannot let the firepower of Northern Valley's offense get away from them.
No, you've got to not let this get to be a track meet, because that's exactly what the boys in green want it to be. You've got to let it to be a slugfest, because you've got the size. You've got the big horses on your side, and you want to make it more of a heavyweight fight, not a flyweight fight like the Huskies want it to be.
That being said, I didn't pay near enough attention at that captain's meeting. I don't even know who's getting the ball, but we'll shortly find out.
We'll find out. I was invested in the pregame points, Pew's pregame points. I agree with everything he said. Northern Valley, you don't score 48 points and really have a lot to argue with about the offensive side of things. But when you give up 49 points, you need to shore up the defense a little bit. But, hey, a lot of the black eye and maybe the sore eye that I know Coach Gebhard down there wanted his team to emphasize this week, surely with special teams, as they left so many points out there just off the board. And it'll be interesting to see today with this wind. In the 6-man game, what we consider going for 2, and 8-man and 11-man, you actually only get 1 point. And kicking that PAT is when you get the 2 points. But we'll see if they settle more for trying to just knock that in with an extra play afterwards to try to just settle for 1 point instead of coming away with 0 points with this wind coming through.
So Northern Valley is going to be able to receive this ball. Back to receive is Brody Preston, the junior. Brock Wolf will do the kicking here for the Titans. And with 6-man football, just making one guy miss, we usually see big returns, but it hasn't been the case so far in the games that I've witnessed. The kick coverage has been excellent, mostly because you're going to see starters all the way across.
Right.
And that's the way you're going to see both teams, as you can see the familiar faces out there on the first special teams play. And here comes Wolf's kick. He lines it up in a end-over-end kick, drives Brody Preston way back to the 5-yard line. He'll come up the right sideline, and he's got room. He's going to get down the sideline. He'll make it to midfield before the big man, Brock Wolf, pushes him out.
Great return by the Huskies. So that might have been better than any return we saw from them all of last week, though, getting to about past the 40-yard line with that one. Great starting field position for the Huskies' first offensive drive.
Northern Valley will start like this. Foster Brands on the far side, the senior. Under center is Kai Cox. He'll be your snapper here tonight. Close is Brian Bencomo, and looks like in the quarterback T formation, Tallheim flanked by Hanson and Brody Preston. They'll throw the quick out here to Bencomo. It's incomplete.
I like the idea of the package right there, having the people out in front, but we emphasized this last week, and you guys who aren't listening or who are listening who aren't as familiar with the 6-man rules, whoever gets that snap cannot be the first person to cross the line of scrimmage. So when Tallheim gets that snap, he's not allowed to cross the line of scrimmage. On this play, however, he pitches it back to Hanson, and he uses the wheels to get that edge, and a good gain on that one.
So another one of those 6-man rules is you got to advance 15 yards to get a first down. And that's the way that like Aim was talking about, how a lot of teams will handle it. They'll snap it to one player, and he'll quickly kick it back to another so that he can have that run-pass option. Here, Northern Valley back in the spread tee. The ball snapped here to Tallheim. He'll hand it off to Preston. He's going to have to duck around Brock Wolf, and he has no chance of doing so as he is wrapped up by Kwasniewska and Wolf for a loss on the play of 1 yard.
These Northern Valley backs are going to learn really fast that you cannot dance around and expect to get out of the grasp of Brock Wolf, the big man. If he gets his paws on you, you're going to have a hard time getting away from that tackle.
Going tempo here. They'll flip it out to Brody Preston on the edge. Foster Brands had his man locked up there, and it's enough for a first down for the Huskies as he got 12.
Really good block by Brands on the outside there. It's a part of that play that a lot of times would go unnoticed and unmentioned, but it's what made that play as he gets to the sticks and advances it for the Dogs.
Northern Valley simply putting on the gas pedal, going tempo the whole time. Now they'll go to a straight back here with Tallheim. He's looking. He's going to go long for Bencomo in a one-on-one matchup. Touchdown, Huskies!
And they drew it up perfectly. They sucked everyone to the other side of the field with that run game. Kind of lulled them to sleep a little bit, even though it's hard to believe that with it being early on in this game. Gets that one-on-one matchup that they want, and Bencomo goes up and gets this ball.
It was a nice pass there by Tallheim to make that happen.
Yeah, it definitely had to be a nice pass because he was throwing against the wind on that one.
So Northern Valley going to line up for the PAT. The kick is up, and the kick is no good there from Hanson. It was a good snap there by Jason Cox and a great hold by Owen Hammond.
854-7625 or toll free at 866-312-2257.
After the 20-yard touchdown strike, Tallheim to Bencomo. Here's the kick by Hanson. They'll get it back to Kwasniewska. Here's got some room. He's going to come around the left side and going to be hammered between two Huskies of Tallheim and Cox. So on to those starters here for Brewster Tri-Plains. Looking like this. The big man, 245, Jaden Kennedy, will be our snapper here tonight as they're going to start on the 33-yard line. They do bring some muscle to the offensive side of it with these weights. They're going to go trips right. Peterson, Collins, and Zur. They'll snap it to Wolf here, but we've got a timeout.
Page products like combines, tractors, as well as other name brand equipment.
Coming back at you. They're going to switch formations. Coach Wolf decided to go twins this way and a solo way out on the edge on that side. They'll flip it back to Kwasniewska, who's going to split the defenders. He's made 3 of them miss. Now he's going to run over 2 of them and go for a 12.5 to 13-yard gain.
Yeah, really nice gain there. I want to go back and talk about that play we just saw, which resulted in the timeout call from Gebhard. We talked early on in this one how Coach Wolf pregame talked with you. They've changed their packages and their offense up a lot, which in a lot of ways people might hear that and say, well, how do you have any normalcy on your team? But you know what it does do is it gets the defense on their toes. They don't know what to prepare for, and that might be the first time that this Huskies team has ever seen trips playing 6-man football.
I do believe so. You're right. They're going to snap it to Quota now. He'll flip back to Wolf. Wolf is going to take it off on the run. Along for the ride is Brands as he grabs a hold of that big left foot, pulls him down just short of the first down. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Got to make sure you're sure tacklers, especially when Wolf has the ball in his hands. He's going to be wanting to use that 255 pounds to build up some momentum and just absolutely bury some people out here. So no arm tackles today. If you're the Huskies, you're going to need to make sure you wrap up and hold on tight.
Northern Valley will be a 2-man front. Then they'll go 3 wide with Jason Cox playing the middle linebacker here. Twins this way, solo flyer on the right. They'll flip back to Kwasniewski, and he'll go right up the middle where Cox has got him for a loss, and can he get him down before the line? It's all going to be dependent on the spot.
Yeah, Jason Cox did a really good job right there fighting through a good stiff arm from Kwasniewski that looked like it was going to help him get the yardage that he needed, but Jason Cox stuck with it and looked directly, he dragged him down short enough from the sticks that it's going to bring up 4th.
So Coda Kwasniewski is right now we just pray that Coda Kwasniewski is okay. I know that
we're going.
We're going to start already, huh? Wow.
They don't even have the EMS off the sideline.
I don't know. I don't exactly get this, but okay. I was talking to Coach Wolf about him and how excited he was to be on the field right now because, he missed. If I remember right, it was him. He said he missed basketball season last year with a knee injury. So I really feel for Coda. Just a junior, 175-pound junior there that pray that he'll be all right. Back into football here as we try and get going here on a 4th down.
It's going to take everyone a second to get back into this. A little miscommunication from the refs there. It looked like Tri-Plains Brewster, based off of the initial call, was going to pick up that short 4th down with a neutral zone infraction, but they're going to say it was illegal procedure instead by the Titans. The clock is going.
And so they got a 4th and 5 here as they'll flip back to Brock Wolf, trying to go up the middle. He's going to run through and around and over the top of Northern Valley's entire team to gain 10 yards and a first down for Brewster.
And this is what he does. He does not have that speed that we're used to watching, which is what the Huskies built their offense upon. Instead, they've got the big bruiser. And like I said, right before we had that long, unfortunate break, those arm tackles are not going to work with Mr. Brock Wolf. You need to get one man on, hold on, and then the rest of the group needs to be coming. All 6 guys need to be going to that football when you see 21 with it.
So the new Titan on the field there is Dylan Webster, the 160-pound sophomore. He's high on the top of the screen, and he's going to get whistled here for a false start as he was trying to get lined up where he needed to be. He'll come out. They'll run number 7, Leo Hickert, the 145-pound sophomore. Kind of a string bean guy. I think he's about 6'4" or better.
Yeah,
I remember him from basketball season. A pretty good player if he could develop a little meat on his bones. But we'll see how he does here on the football field. 1st down and 20 to go here for the Titans. In the pistol formation, they'll go with Collins now with Brock Wolf behind him. Collins gets it, flips to Wolf. Wolf's going to just try and run for it again as he's met at the line of scrimmage by Jason Cox. Went low enough to take him out.
Yeah, and if you're, Tri-Plains there, you probably want to get a little more aggressive. Brock Wolf, like I said, it's all about meeting at the point of contact and using that size. And there he kind of danced around a little bit and let the contact come to him.
Northern Valley, it was without Cox there in the middle there for a couple games. He does bring a little bit of a wallop. He weighs in at 197 to start the year. And in that, as Northern Valley plays this defense, trying to turn it all back into him, he's been successful in that position. Going to go Twins here and 1 wide to the other side. They'll flip back to Wolf. He's going to have to beat 2 now, and he couldn't beat either one of them. Kai Cox with a big sack.
And Kai was not letting the big man get away on that one and took him down for a pretty sizable loss there, making it, 3rd and 25?
27 maybe, 3rd and 27 here. Let's see what Coach Wolf draws up this time as if it wasn't Cox going to get that sack, tackle for loss, Foster Brands was right there to clean up the mess. So they're going with the 2 wide quick rushers, which means they're going to have to get rid of it quick.
They got the wind to their back, though.
Collins to Wolf. He's going to go right, and he's going to be wrapped up for another loss.
And
Brands and Cox are eating them alive.
They are eating them alive. Tri-Plains Brewster is going to have to adapt a little bit and try to get an extra blocker in there, as the pressure from the Huskies right now off of that line is just too much to get anything going for the Titans. Kind of thought we'd see them maybe try to get something in the air there. Like I said, they've got the wind to their back. We saw them in pregame working a little bit of the intermittent passing game.
Here's the trips near side here. Peterson, Collins, and Hickert. Collins will flip it back to Wolf, and he's going to be under duress. He'll flip it up to Collins. Met at the line by Jason Cox, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, good hit there by 22 Jason Cox. And, you put the pop to him, and it paid off. He got the ball back for his team.
That's a way to play defense if you're a Huskies fan.
Got the team fired up a little bit. Huskies are going to spread it out a little bit more.
Northern Valley flip from Tolheim now to Hanson. He's going to try and run. They've double-teamed the one edge. And a good pick-up by Brody Preston, and no one will touch Jeremiah Hanson as he trots into the end zone.
Such a good job of getting those blockers out in front of him. Got those blockers out in front of him, let Tolheim catch back up and get the first guy, and use Brody Preston to break the last man. And then it was all speed after that, and that's the name of the game with Jeremiah Hanson, one of the fastest players in six-man football. And you see him do it again right there. Another 6 points for the Huskies.
Brands, Hanson, Cox, Peyton David, Deacon Skimper to block here for Hanson's kick, and it is up, and it is no good.
It had to have been close because the guy had to think about it for a second.
He had to convince himself.
Yeah, and the kicking woes once again just continue.
Large scamper by Hanson results in a touchdown where he was untouched. Great blocking up front by the Huskies. He'll kick it away here. He's going to kick it deep, and this is going to be Collins who's going to track it down, pick it up after one bounce. He's going to go upside. Boom! What a hit by Kenton Tolheim.
They were just sitting there waiting for the opportunity, and Tolheim took full advantage of that open field tackle right there.
That was a big hit from Tolheim, who's not playing defense so far here tonight.
No, he's got to get that contact in where he can. He doesn't want to take it when he's the quarterback. And so you got to get it on those lead blocks and on those kickoffs.
We're going to go maybe even a slot receiver here with Peterson, Hickert, and number 17 down here is there's Zur. Now they'll go to the big man Wolf. He's going to make 1 or 2 miss, track down from behind. He's just throwing people to the ground, and Cox grabs a hold, puts a rope around him, and rides him to the ground.
Unfortunately for Ben Gomo, he was on the back end of that Derrick Henry impression from Brock Wolf right there.
That was a serious stiff arm.
That was a serious stiff arm. Yeah, you know what, Brian, there's not much anyone can do about that one. Running up against 6'6", 255 Brock Wolf, and when he wants to use that power, and he's going to use that power.
You're going to have to use a lot of momentum to take him down. There's no, you don't have to really break down near as much because he's not going to be as shifty. You got to bring all your A game if you want to bring him down. You better bring your lunch.
You better bring the lunch, and you better be ready to bring your friends with you because that might be the only way you're bringing that man down.
Collins this time is going to try and run the ball, and he's going to be rode down there by
Got a flag
Cox
coming
and
in from
Brands.
the far side, though. We'll see what it is. What do we got here? We're going to have a block in the back from Tri-Plains Brewster.
So they'll march them backwards,
Costly
and
penalty
they'll
right
repeat the down. So it'll be 1st and 25 here for the Titans. They've had success trying to run Wolf, but other than that, they really haven't had a whole lot of success on the offensive side.
Yeah, going to have to find a way to open things up and get the Huskies on their heels a little more because right now they're kind of starting to pin their ears back and read into what this offense is trying to do. As you see Cox flying off the edge there. Wolf with nowhere to go, using the power to just gain every yard that he can, and he's going to get about a 4 or 5 yard pickup on this one.
And he'll pick that up as Northern Valley just trying to chew on the shoelaces of the big man Brock Wolf, and they're going to continue to ride him all game long, I would anticipate.
I would as well.
So they'll line up this way here. They'll bring Hickert to the top of the screen. Down here they'll have Zur and Peterson. Snapping it to Collins with Wolf behind him. He's got the ball now. Northern Valley went with a blitz, and Brands meets him 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage and brings him down.
Yeah, just no room anywhere to get going on your runs, no momentum at all, and they're just getting blown up off the ball.
Vesteka and Vesteka over there on the chain gang. Thanks, guys. You get your promo in here on the open spaces, but right here they're going to have to figure out something. If that means lofting the ball up in the air, putting it and giving it a chance, they've got to. They'll get a drag route in here, and they'll hit him for a good gain here of about 7 yards as they find Zur across the middle. Nickel carry it there, so it'll be 4th and 16.
Yeah, they still have a ways to go before they pick up this first down, but, I like that play call right there, and that might be something that we see them go back to earlier on in the downs. Good chunk play there, getting about 10 yards, 11 yards, and that's better than what they've been able to get on the ground, and that'll keep the Huskies honest if you can kind of get things going in the air.
So what I'm seeing is that they're getting so much pressure from Foster Brands and Kai Cox up the middle that the other 3 defenders there are able to play soft and back. Preston, Tallheim, and Bencomo. Looks like they're going to bring Cox on a blitz here. They're going to go right at him. The ball is up in the air, and it's picked off by Brody Preston. Trying to run the other direction. Collins had him once, and he'll be taken down after a return of 15 yards. Northern Valley will take over on the interception.
Yeah, kind of a lackadaisical throw, getting hit as he tried to get rid of that ball, just trying to make something out of nothing. Brock Wolf puts it up in the air, and Preston was licking his chops as he saw that thing leave his Wolf's hand. 1:03
to go here in the first quarter. Northern Valley comes back out in the spread where they got Brands on top, Bencomo underneath in the T formation here. Going to snap the ball to Tallheim. He gets the ball. He's going to quickly out to Brands in a one-on-one matchup with Hickert. He blows by him, and then Czar's got to ride him out of bounds after a gain of 17 yards.
I like the quick pass right there, not letting the wind play a factor in the pass game, but letting your athleticism and the speed that you have as an advantage over a lot of teams in the state, but I would say definitely hold the edge on in this game, using that to their advantage.
You know what I'm seeing here? I think Coach Marvin Giphart has gone all Mike Leach on us and trying to get the ball snapped with less than 5 seconds. He'll go back to Tallheim. Tallheim will go around the side, driven out of bounds by Collins. Gain of 12 and a half, 13, maybe 14 yards on the play.
Mike Leach does love his air raid offenses, too. If that man could pass every single play of a game, he would.
If he could pass for a kickoff, he would.
That's what I'm saying.
Spread wide again. Far back is Hansen. They'll snap it here to Tallheim. Tallheim will flip it to Hansen. He's looking to pass. He'll dump it over the middle to the center. Kai Cox. He'll head for the end zone.
Give the lineman some love.
For the offensive lineman.
Give the lineman some love, and that's one of the fun changes in 6-man football that is different from 11 and 8-man is every person is eligible out here on this field, and sometimes I think even 6-man teams forget that, and Kai Cox takes full advantage of that rule and gets 6 points for the Huskies.
Here's the extra point attempt where the Northern Valley has struggled. Let's see if they can make it happen this time. Snap is down. Held is up, and the kick is no good. We're going to play a little more football here as Northern Valley leads 16-0 with 43 seconds left to go in this first quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
On those PAT attempts.
Yeah, that's what Coach Pugh had let us know here. So a couple of substitutions here on this kickoff as Gabe Rudd will have his first action of the year. He's in here as well as with Owen Hammond and David. Ball is loose.
Free.
Northern Valley will cover it up.
The high kick pays off for the Huskies. Not sure if it was intentional or not, but it works out in their favor. Everyone kind of looked around like, did we call fair catch? Does it count if we don't touch it? And it certainly does if it goes past 10 yards.
Interesting, but the hustle gets you into this spot right here. They'll snap it to Tallheim. He's looking for the quick out to Brody Preston. Locked up on the outside. Brands had a good block. Brody Preston walking around right through the big first tackle, and he'll get 15 yards and a first down and a flag quickly there. He might pick up an additional half the distance possible a personal foul there. Is that what you saw, Aim?
Yeah, probably. It's hard to see that boundary on the other side from here, but I'm guessing that he was on the line, and it was just an excessive use of force while he was already going out of bounds. But it could have been just avoided entirely if Brock Wolf would have just tackled in the first place instead of just pushing off on Preston. Tried to go for kind of the shove hit there instead of wrapping up and using his 255-pound frame. You could bring down just about anybody if you wrap those big arms around them. We're going to have a false start by the Huskies. It'll move them back 5.
Yeah, so they were on the 6-yard line, goal to go. But now they're going to back up 5. It'll be first and goal from the 11-yard line. Now make it the 12. Those 6-yard penalties get you every time.
They get you every time.
So Tallheim going to be ready to grab this one. Ball snap back, flip back to Hansen. Juggled once. He's got to get through one tackle, and he does. Now he's free. Now he's going to go through Collins. He's going to make his way around Hickert. What a touchdown run by Jeremiah Hansen.
That was all on the effort of Hansen, just using his quickness to his advantage. Looking like Deuce Vaughn out there sliding through tacklers.
It was. There was one tackle there missed. There's a second. There's a third and a fourth, and he's going to get all the way in.
I love
for
the lateral
touchdown.
movement.
Well, we'll see if he can put this one in. Our crew kicking extra points is going to get plenty of work here tonight, it looks like. Can they get one? This one is blocked by Collins as he knocks it down. Northern Valley 0 for 4. Extra points so far here tonight. They will try and maybe be a little more aggressive to go after that football.
Going to have to be.
As they'll go Hammond, Tallheim, Rudd, Hansen, Preston, and David. High kick to Collins, and he's got room. He cuts up the middle, and he's going to drag him all the way to the midfield mark. In fact, he's got into positive territory. They'll start this drive on the 39-yard line.
Yeah, really nice starting field position, and that's, you'll take those momentum shifters where you can, and sometimes a good kick return is just what the offense needs to get a little boost and get going, as they need to do something to get some points on the board to keep up with the Northern Valley Huskies.
So 17 seconds left to go here in this first quarter. They've ran 14 plays. 11 of them have ended up being rushes. Only 3 of them. And I think they're just 1 for 3 on the passing game so far here tonight. They've got to figure out a way to get some connection to some of these outside spreads.
Yeah, and maybe a part of that is if you want to get the ball to Brock Wolf that much, maybe you throw a little out route to him and just give it to him in space, as he's just not able to get anything going. And I think they need to start passing the ball a little more to keep the Huskies honest. As you can see right there, everyone is just coming in because they are being very predictable right now that they're going to run it up the middle.
Right there, they sent Cox on a 0 blitz once again, so they're rushing 3 right off the snap and just trying to drive them back, as that will be the end of the first quarter. Northern Valley leading Tri-Plains Brewster by the score of 24-0. We'll be back. Back to the K Club here after a little bit, but here right now with a second and short here for the Tri-Plains Brewster. They're going to go bunch right here, going to go a tight group here as they're going to snap the ball directly to Wolf, and I imagine he'll hand it to Collins or Collins to hand it to Wolf, and they do, and they're going to try and go right up the middle. A lot of happening there in the middle, including a flag, but Northern Valley stands strong and holds them.
Yeah, did about the exact opposite of what I was saying, and instead of, spreading it out even more and trying to get this Huskies defense to thin out a little bit there in the box, instead pull everyone in and say, you know what, we're not even going to try to play the trickery game, and we're just going up the middle, and they shoot themselves in the foot again, though, with another offensive penalty. 2 false starts and a holding now.
Well, yeah, but the terror that the 2 defensive linemen are causing. And they've completely had to change this. They've brought in guards to slow this defense down of Northern Valley. They'll just go Hickert right here on the right side. They'll hand to Collins. He's going to go to the right side where he's met by a pile of Huskies. He's stolen the ball, and he's going the other way.
Oh, a pretty quick whistle. They're going to say that forward progress was ended is the only thing they could say on that.
So Brody Preston with a sleight of hand went in there and just ripped that ball out from Collins. Good thing for a Titan fan, as they're going to keep possession here.
So a fun thing about six-man football is you watch this, and like we said, every person is eligible, and you can kind of think, well, how can they utilize this to their advantage? I want to see a play with the 2 guards in there, and the center takes off on a route down the middle of the field. No one will see that coming.
Nobody. This time they're going to go to Collins down the middle, and the defensive lineman of Brands picks him up after a short gain.
And of course, that might be
and it brings up 4th down.
A little bit more of a check down thing, because if the 0 blitz keeps coming, that's a bad play.
Yeah, that doesn't work real well.
But no, I feel like a broken record. You got to do something different to keep the Northern Valley defense honest. They're not respecting the pass game at all. With
well,
3 passes.
The problem is if you could figure something out right now, they'd do it. But Cox and Brands are just dominating this game from the line of scrimmage point. And they can't get anything started here for the Titans. And we've got another flag, and we've got offensive team is.
How do you have an encroachment on offense?
Encroachment on offense will back them up 5 yards, so it'll be a 4th and 10 here situation where if you got something that you can draw up, I'm sure Coach Wolf is ready to go with it and see if he can strike some magic here. So Hickert here low to us. They're going to snap it to Collins, who'll give it back to Wolf. He's going to try and run. Collins with a good block on the side, a good stiff arm, but into his legs and bringing him down was Gavin Tall. No, it wasn't Gavin. It was Preston.
It's going to be a hold against Tri-Plains Brewster. I imagine this one's going to get declined, as that was 4th down, and it will be declined, so it's going to be Huskies ball, turnover on downs. Not a bad effort there by Tri-Plains Brewster and Mr. Brock Wolf trying to hit that edge and get to the sticks, but come up short.
So Northern Valley sticking with their starters here. Ben Como up high, Brands down low, snapping the ball, Kai Cox. Defensively, the Titans have switched it up. They're going to go Wolf and Czar here coming on this side. Hansen's going to miss 1, going to miss 2, going to be rode out of bounds by Hickert, but it's going to be a 1st down.
And Northern Valley's doing a really good job calling runs away from Brock Wolf. You've noticed that, how they're always trying to find where 21 is and avoid going that way, because you saw it earlier on a couple runs, and they don't want you to see it very often, but once he gets his arms around you, that's a hard tackle to break out there.
Northern Valley going to go in motion here with Brody Preston. They'll flip it forward to him. He's going to have to go 1-on-3. He stops and starts again. Now he's going to get to the sideline, but he's going to be rode out of bounds by Collins, who gets up a little bit gimpy as well, but it'll be 2nd down and about 5 yards here for the Huskies.
Yeah, good little, just a little
jet sweep action.
I like the little shake that Preston gave right there, just to put the defender in a little bit of hesitation, just enough for him to get around.
Dropping back to passes. Tallheim will go quickly to Ben Como, who's wrapped up. Oh, where did he go? I thought he was tackled for a loss, and all of a sudden he streaks into the end zone for a touchdown. Did you see that? Because I certainly didn't.
Yeah, he just lowered the shoulder and the head and dipped right underneath the tackle, essentially.
Collins had him wrapped up right there at the point of attack, and all of a sudden Ben Como was
could
gone.
Not finish it. I wonder how much of that is him just coming up a little gingerly on that play right before, and then Northern Valley kind of exposed that. They're going to change kickers up, though.
Oh, Jason Cox will get to kick. He's a long ways away from that ball spot.
He's a long ways away.
He was the snapper. Now he's a kicker, and it is good.
I-70 and Highway 40.
So after Cox knocks in the PAT, giving the Huskies a 32-0 lead, they're going to let him kick off as well, and it's going to be kicked, and it's going to be all the way down to the bottom, where it's going to be wrapped up for his first tackle of the year from Gabe Rudd.
Yeah, and it's good to see Gabe Rudd back out there dealing with a knee injury so far as this season. Finally feeling good enough to pad back up and get back out there, and you see the impact immediately. First game back, already making tackles and using that speed and that size well, and we're going to see him on the middle of this defense.
Going to put him at defensive line is where I'd put him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where he's going to go, and they're going to move Cox to the defensive line as well, and they got Peyton David, it's middle backer, and the same back end of Brody Preston, Gavin Tolheim, Ben Como. In with a tight formation here is the Titans. Kenny to snap it back as he does here to Wolf. He'll hand the ball to Collins. He's going to lead block, go right through up, and that ball is going to be drugged down after about a gain of 4 or 5 yards. Maybe this is what they need to do. They had started out in the barnyard type scenario. They started the first play of the night in a trips formation and haven't really had a whole lot of success on the offensive side. So you got to keep searching to figure out what's going to work. Wolf has now brought them into a tight formation to see if they can just play a little bully ball with their big boys. Because, Kenny is 245. Peterson at 200 pounds. They've got some meat all across the front line that can match up with anybody.
Yeah, if you get and the ball's on the ground here, but Wolf is going to fall on top of it first. It's going to stay with the Tri-Plains Brewster Titans, but it's going to move them all the way back to their starting position. A little past that, it's going to be 15 yards, about 15, 16 yards now to go to a first down.
So Webster will go out and Hickert back in. As they'll change formations here. They'll run Hickert to the far side. He's kind of in a slot here now, a formation we haven't seen yet.
Well, we talked about that trips thing that they ran first play of the game, called a timeout, never got a play out of it. But the only other time they've used that is when it was 4th and long. They picked up about 12 yards on it. It wasn't able to get to the sticks, but they did like a quick little slant route out of that, and I don't see why you wouldn't go back and try that again.
We might see it here as Webster and Hickert are running plays back and forth here for the Titans with 5:45 left to go here in this first half. Just trying to get some momentum on the offensive side for the Titans, but it is 4th down and 10 or 11 yards to go. Kenny's going to look around and snap this ball back to Collins and back to Wolf. They're going to try and run. And Wolf's got a shot at it, but there's a flag on the play.
A lot of holds.
Wolf is going to get to the sticks, and it's going to take all the Huskies to take him down.
It's a good effort, but this one's going to come back, and they're going to have to try again.
So we do have a preliminary signal of holding.
I mean, you could pick your player who you want it to be on that play.
So what that happened, it kind of got his offensive lineman in a little bit of a pickle there as he ran a complete cutback.
The blocks washed down, and he cut back on it, which is not a bad move if this is the ball carrier. But what that does is your blockers think you're still running one way, and then when the defense shifts on you and you don't know it's there, you got to be ready to kind of shift as the offensive lineman there, and just didn't get that and had a little too much jersey in their hands.
So 4th and 21 here for the Titans as they will show the trips to this near side. Hickert, Peterson, and Zur. And what do we got now?
Another flag on the play.
It's going to go against Tri-Plains Brewster.
Offsides on the Titans, so it'll be half the distance.
If it's in the trips, people, usually they make sure that they're on the line.
Yeah.
They must not have checked with that line judge, but it came from the far side. That was the kind of the interesting thing I saw.
Here's the trips formation. They'll get it back to Wolf in the back of the end zone. He's going to have to make some hay. Nice ball. He's going to throw it up for Peterson, but just out of his reach. It'll fall out of bounds. Northern Valley will take it over on the 4-yard line.
Yeah, best starting position they've had probably all year.
So Northern Valley will take over there. Looks like they're going to go Husky package as Cox trots onto the field. And they do. They go tight formation here with Brands, Cox, and Brody Preston up front. Under center is Tolheim. They'll give it to Brody Preston. Bounces off of Cox and into the end zone for a touchdown. I'm going to
say the knee was down short of the goal line.
Okay, sorry about that. 1 yard to go here as Northern Valley was unable to punch it in on that tight
We
formation.
don't have the pylon cam to get the second look at it.
That would be nice. It's not available for Open Spaces Sports, but if you'd like to sponsor the pylon cam, contact the Open Spaces Sports there in Colby. Talk to Rich or Cody. I'm sure we could get something worked out where we can do a promotion.
Right. That's right. We'll give you a shout out if you get some pylon cams.
That
over here.
would be cool, other than the fact that then I would have to learn the technology to utilize it.
Oh,
so.
they'd make it easy for you, Clint. They'd say just.
Oh, sweet play that was there as the ball gets snapped between the legs of Tallheim. He sets up as the under center. Watch this. This is sweet. Tallheim sets up under center, and they're going to snap the ball between his legs to Hansen and then fly out on an out route there for Brands for the touchdown.
Sneaky.
Sneaky is right. So Jason Cox gets his second attempt at his extra point up, and it is good. 2 for 2 for 22 here tonight.
Even with the snap being too low.
Titan Webster there on this one, as well as Jackson Cheatham, 170-pound sophomore. Jason's kick right down the middle, and it's going to be Czar's going to find it in space. He's going to have to make a couple Huskies miss, and he's not going to make Rudd miss. Rudd does an excellent job for the second straight kickoff in coverage.
Yeah, and one thing that I think that we've just got to really give a lot of credit to Koda Vashniska. He hasn't been in this game, got hurt on the first offensive drive, had to get, oh, we got cramps on the sideline.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself from laughing. I wasn't paying attention to you as
okay.
Jason Cox wobbled to the sideline and then fell like he was a tree got cut down.
He hasn't been used to the kicking game yet. I guess he's got to get those muscles a little more limbered up for the next one.
Defensive lineman on the field, Deacon Skimper here as he takes on 2 defenders. Now they're going to try and wrap up Wolf, and they do after a 5-yard line.
In there, Deacon making the immediate impact. But what I was saying is, we were talking about how they can't get anything going if Tri-Plains Brewster can't get anything going. And, I think this just speaks to the player that Kodas Vasnisko is. They missed him since that first offensive drive. And how much different would this look? I'm not saying that they would, be beating Northern Valley right now, but a lot of that offense was running through him to start the game. And I think it has, as this season has been going on, and so they're really missing him right now.
He and Wolf was who the coaches were really talking about how this offense was kind of designed on here. Hickert to the bottom of our screen here, split wide as that's Hammond out here. Now they're going to pass it deep, and he's got a wide receiver. That's Czar
I love
open.
that play call.
And it was kind of an RPO situation. It's going to be a first down for the Titans.
That's what I've been wanting them to do this whole night. And unfortunately, I hope it's not too late for them. Maybe unlocking something new and an answer to those Husky defense just sucking into the box.
So another defensive lineman change as John L. Spears come to the defensive line. On the far side, we still have Tallheim, and in the back playing the free-range safety has been Como, Peyton David in the center, and Owen Hammond here to this side. Kenny still under center here. Hickert, Czar, and here's Collins. Collins is going to have to run, and Peyton David met him at the line of scrimmage and slung him to the ground.
Collins is feeling that hit a little bit, getting up gingerly, and we're going to have an official timeout.
I think he landed right on that ball. Peyton David grabbed a hold of him and spun him around, and he just landed right there on his chest. I wouldn't be surprised if he just knocked the wind out of him. But nice to see here some substitutions by the Huskies. Still not going to let off and going to attack the ball. As Collins will have to go off here for a play.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's good if you're Northern Valley to see these new faces that, we didn't see a lot of them get into that last game. That was a 1-point decision by the end of it, but you got to get the depth in when you can, because I know Coach Gebhardt and this team are wanting to make a post-game run, and the more people that you have that are familiar with your offense and defense and playing in game scenarios, the better off you're going to be in. If the Huskies got something, they've got depth. They've got numbers over there, especially for a 6-man team.
They certainly do have a lot of numbers, and Wolf will bring in the play call here for his teammates on this floor here we got now on this floor. It's that beautiful. Revival Lawn Care, beautiful turf here tonight from Almena. Had to give you a shameless plug there, Aim. Call Revival Lawn Care if you want your yard to look like this.
Yeah, we take pride in this field. We want it to be the greenest patch of grass in the valley, that's for sure.
It didn't take a lot this year. And a tackle right away by John L. Spear as he took down Peterson. Peterson with his first carry of the night.
First play into the game, already getting his name called. Feeling good after that one, building a little momentum. John L. just a freshman, getting in and getting some varsity time.
Yeah, John L. weighs in at 166, but only 5'4", perfect for a defensive lineman in the 6-man game. Webster to the far side. Czar, no, we're going to run trips here. Hickert and oh,
you got to let him line up. I just pick up the flag, but you got to let the guy line up. He's talking with the.
He's trying to get lined up there, and they go ahead and flag him.
It's also not your
for
flag
it.
to call. You're on the far side.
That's all right. So Deacon coming off, and we're going to replace the meat with the muscle right here. Is number 10. Maverick Rogers goes in. He was going to play defensive line. Now he's going to go back to free safety.
I like the
trips here to the right. Let's see what Brock Wolf and company can do here with this one. He'll snap it, flip it back to Peterson, and they're going to go around the left side. Wolf with a great block on John L. Spear, and a 7-yard gain here for Peterson as he took it around the left side.
Yeah, kind of the full initiation to the varsity game. You know, you get in as John L. Spear. You get the tackle first play, and then you meet probably the biggest guy that you're going to be on a field against in the second play right there. But, hey, good job by him trying to just hone in on that ball. Good job by the Huskies not allowing a big play right there, as it seemed like there was a lot of grass in front of him.
I did think that play was actually going to go for a long way, but here we got 4th down and 11 yards to go here for the Titans, looking for those first down sticks. Kenny over the ball here. Webster and Zur. Hickert on this side. And that will be the half. I didn't even see it timing down.
Oh, time flies when you're having fun.
And so you'll have the ability to prove it on the field no matter where you're at. And they're going to go Coach Cole style. Kyle Spear to kick it off here for Northern Valley. Up 40-0. The junior.
Kyle has some experience in the kicking game.
He has a lot of experience. A 5'8", 283-pound kicker.
He gives this one a good pooch, one that we saw the Huskies get earlier, a kick like that. But this one's going to fall into the hands of Tri-Plains Brewster. Not a big gain. Ball comes out. It's going to stay with the Titans.
So Webster fielded that one, and Gabe Rudd got his 3rd consecutive tackle on the special teams. Knocked that ball out, so he'll pick up the forced fumble as well. Brock Wolf lucky to jump on it and keep possession here for the Titans.
Right, seeing Gabe Rudd back out there in the pads, I kind of thought, well, maybe he might be a little hesitant. You see someone come back from a knee injury, and a lot of times you don't see him go full go. They're a little iffy on how they react to things, but it seems like it's second nature still to Rudd as he's firing in there, and all the opportunities he's getting, he's making the best of them.
Same starting lineup here for your Titans, but at the defensive here for Northern Valley, they'll go John L. Spear and Gavin Tolheim across the front line. And this tackle is going to be made by 3 Huskies simultaneously on the big man Brock Wolf of Peyton David, Gavin Tolheim, and John L. Spear, also joined out there by Caden Lowry and Owen Hammond, and Ben Como playing safety ball there in the far back. The Titans counter with this. They'll go big man Brock Wolf, and then Leo Hickert, as well as Ben Peterson. Jaden Kenny been snapping the ball all game there. And Ben Peterson and Nick Czar.
Nick Zur, that's who you're looking for.
Zur, excuse me. This snap will go right back to Collins, who flip backs to Wolf. He's got a ball up in the air.
That's a
Beautiful ball there for a 20-yard gain and a first down. Is a nice pass to Nick Czar.
The wind still is blowing a little bit, but it's not quite as aggressive of a gust. And they're able to utilize that RPO once again in this one. And that's, like I said, I expected to see that coming out of the break. The Huskies are still selling on kind of that run, that power run, which you know you're going to get a lot of still with Wolf in the backfield. But the more that they can do that, the more they're going to spread it out, and they're going to have success with that run game.
Aiden Keith now checked in on the defensive line, the freshman, checking in at 225 pounds, see what he can do. This ball's going to be snapped directly to Wolf. He's looking to find somewhere to go. He's got Peterson open. He's going to drag a couple of Huskies, and he's going to be just short. Tough spot there. I thought he got in, but it's going to be 1st and goal from the 1-yard line here for the Titans.
Yeah, and we're going to see him go to that package that they've liked to use all over the place, kind of the bringing everyone in for the jumbo set, and I imagine that they're going to be able to punch this into the pay dirt.
Northern Valley's played some really close games, so some of these kids, it's their first time being on the field all season long. They've had to ride the bench and do practice for nothing but 4 games, getting their first time action here live. Titans really looking to here get a score. They'll snap it back to Collins and hand it to Wolf as he tries to go to the end zone, and he will score right through Gabe Rudd, who forgot to use his arms to tackle. Touchdown, Brock Wolf and his Titans.
Yeah, and it's good to see him get on the board, and even if they fall in this game, when you get some points on the board, that's a momentum builder going forward in the season, and this game is not over. We'll see what kind of offensive package Coach Gebhard rolls out there. We haven't seen the backups on offense yet. I imagine that we will when they get a chance to it, and we might have a little bit more football than maybe we initially thought going into the break.
Going spread here on this extra point. Hickert and Peterson, and a flip over his head from Brock Wolf falls at the feet of Peterson. An incomplete pass. You never know when the old onside kick's going to happen.
That's right.
And I think we might have one here as he's lined up a little bit, aiming at Tolheim, see if he can get hands on it, and he does.
That's a nice onside
beautiful kick. Gabe Rudd's going to try and go the other direction and outrun everybody. He's got a shot as he runs into Hickert at the end, and he'll fall forward for another 5 yards. A return of 20 yards there for the special team wizard, Gabe Rudd.
Yeah, he's an explosive player with the ball in his hand, or even with the ball not in his hand. He's going to use his raw athletic ability to make an impact on the field.
So Northern Valley will look like this. Kai Cox goes back at the center position. Kind of the right guard is Deacon Skimper. Foster Brands will flank him on the right side, as well as they put deep in the backfield Gabe Rudd. Under center looks to be going Tolheim and Hansen here on a little bit of a wing here to the left. They'll give a toss sweep here to Rudd. He's got people all out in front of him. He's going to caught up, and he's going to go into the end zone for a touchdown for Gabe Rudd.
Gave a stiff arm of his own and tossed the defender out of bounds and out of his way to scamper in there for the 6 points.
Northern Valley hasn't had this option other than tonight. This is his first action getting back into it. Had a little bit of knee injury in the preseason, and it looks like a weapon that Northern Valley will be able to feature for the rest of the fall.
Yeah, definitely going to get a lot of varsity time going forward, just kind of easing him back into this game. Like you said, first game back from injury. I think maybe coaches weren't quite sure how he was going to just get back into it, but it looks like second nature out there for Rudd. This is Hansen for the extra point try.
Northern Valley went tight package and then ran it.
And you can reach him by calling 785-669-2227.
Fourth kicker on the night here for Northern Valley. This will be Gabe Rudd. He's been a special teams monster here as he left the left foot into it, and it goes through Peterson's hands, and the ball is loose, and it falls on it by Foster Brands.
Yeah, sometimes when it rains, it pours in the game of football, and right now, Tri-Plains Brewster thought they might have caught a break coming out of the half and score and putting points up, but just this game has been tough going for them, and right there on special teams, it continues to go that way.
So we'll go with, looks like the second team offense here for Northern Valley. Peyton David, Deacon Skimper, Gabe Rudd, Gavin Tallheim, Owen Hammond, and looks like in the feature back position, Brian Bencomo is going to go on the wing to the right.
This ball's going to Gabe Rudd, though.
This one's going to Gabe Rudd. Yeah,
he's got the momentum.
Oh, Tallheim.
I was wrong.
Trying to make a quick flank of that one as he'll get wrapped up for a 2-yard gain.
A play we haven't seen much of this year.
Well, I think that was supposed to be a reverse that he tried to cut back up, and Coach says, why don't you just come over here to the sideline if you're not going to run the right play?
Yeah, there's a reason that you draw the plays up the way that you do. You know, you can take a little bit of creative liberty, but you should probably go where the blocks are going.
So quarterback now was Hammond. Rudd and Hanson in at the backs. They'll flip it back to Rudd here. He's going to be met by Peterson at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards for a loss. Northern Valley will have 3rd and long coming up.
Yeah, not quite the explosiveness with the ball in his hands as we saw last time he hit the ball in his hands, where he just hit that edge and housed it. There he kind of thought about it a little too hard, danced around, and you know, the defense on Tri-Plains Brewster, there's still some sure tacklers over there if you give them a chance to. You got to use that speed.
I'm going to guess we're going to put the ball in the air here, see what Owen Hammond can do with that right arm. So he'll have his first pass attempt of the year, I believe, here. Wing to the left. They'll snap it back to Hammond. He's going to roll to the right, getting chased down by Brockwell. Flips it up, and he'll find Rudd. Rudd's got it up the sideline. He's going to take it into the end zone for a touchdown. 1 for 1 in his career. 29 yards, touchdown, strike. Hammond to Rudd.
Pretty good quarterback rating right there.
Can't get much better than that, Mr.
Cannot
Owen.
get much better than that. As
That's a game.
it's ball game, as that puts us over 45 points.
So it's been a fun night here from Alameda. We've got your stats coming up with Coach Pugh and your post-game recap here with us at Open Spaces Sports.
All right, so that third quarter cut pretty short there, so these will look pretty similar. Obviously, we're going to end with a 53-6 final. Gabe Rudd ended up with a couple scores there. The junior coming off that injury, like Clinton Ames said. It's good to see him back out there. Northern Valley finishes 9 for 10 for 128 passing yards with 5 touchdowns. We turn it over to the rushing for Northern Valley. They only had 10 carries for 121 yards with the 3 scores. Tri-Plains, we go to rushing. They had 23 carries for 63 yards and the touchdown there. And turning it over to their passing game, wasn't a big factor here for them. They went 5 for 7 for 66 yards. If we turn to tackles, Tri-Plains, we got Wolf ended up with at least 5. He was in on quite a few plays. Northern Valley didn't run a whole lot of offensive plays. Hickert had 3, Collins had 2, Zer, Peterson, they also came in and contributed. You really think about, what the game would have looked, how it would have been differently without that crucial injury there. There's obviously a lot of talent there, and those guys over there don't need to hang their heads. For Northern Valley, for tackles, Foster Brands had 4 solo, 2 assists. Gavin Tallheim had 4 solo, 4 assists. Brian Mancoma had 4 solo tackles. Kai Cox with 5 and 2. Jason Cox had 5. Brody Preston had 1 solo, 3 assists. John L. Spear with a couple solo tackles in there. Good to see the freshman get involved. Gabe Rudd, a special teams specialist in there, had 3 solo tackles with 2 assists. And Peyton David, looks like the leading tackler tonight for the Huskies with 6 solo tackles and an assist. So all sorts of contribution from all over the field, and it was a great hard-fought game. And for if you're the Titans, you're looking forward. I mean, that's all you can do at this point. If you're the Huskies, you like to get a good win against a league opponent, and again, you move on. So
I think you wrapped it up pretty well there with the statistics there. I can't believe you can keep up with all that. I can't even keep my mind straight very much and do that at all. But that will be our final home broadcast here from Open Spaces Sports when it comes to Northern Valley here. We will hit the road for another broadcast. We're going to travel all the way down to Greeley County. We're going to head to Tribune.
it's pretty close, though, I think.
I think it's just next door, right?
Yeah, not too far.
Check your map. Yeah. Short 3.5 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour time zone change. I don't know. I mean, it could be all of those things. I don't know. But I think that's October 7th. I'll be down there and doing that game. I don't know if I can get Pew and or AIM to go with me. I might have to fly solo on that one. But we do appreciate all the support from the Northern Valley sideline and from the Brewster Tri-Plains to be able to bring you these broadcasts here at Open Spaces Sports. Remember, you can always go back and watch these broadcasts or any other broadcast on our archives page. But do go out and tell those sponsors that you hear throughout our broadcast. Tell them thank you, because without them we couldn't do this. And we love doing this on our side, and I know you guys love to watch it at home. So make sure you thank those broadcast partners to make this all happen. But for Mitch Pugh, AIM Baird, this has been Clint Cox here for Open Spaces Sports. And until next time, God bless.